Man, there's so much to visit about tonight. It's such a one-sided conversation visiting with you guys. You hear public comment and it's one-sided and there's no questions coming back. Is there any doubt in anybody's mind that you heard a couple of experts tonight? And every night we've had child psychologists up here. We've had former people who've almost been lost to the school system, and by the grace of a couple of people stepping forward, they've earned doctorate degrees and heads of departments, and the financial costs of letting kids go early to the system going forward. And yet, we're talking about finances. And twice tonight, gosh, I wish I could come forward like the insurance committee. You had 3 opposing opinions. It costs who knows how much, but you know what? The same answer we've heard twice. We can dip into the what? You can finish my sentence for me. The COVID fund. That happened twice tonight. We can dip into the COVID fund. And it's so quick. I think our mission up there should take students out and talk about employees and former employees, is the mission. And listen, I love the teachers. The teachers are fantastic, but that seems to be where the money flows, and secondarily are the students. I want to remind you, we've been getting blown up here about how upset people are that we've flung stones and arrows and we've caused such misery and cast bad light on the board and the district at such a crucial time when you need money. Let me remind you what we've gone through. And I wear that with honor. That's a merit badge that I wear with honor. That I caused some discomfort to you guys that refuse to listen. Let me go back and tell you what we went through. Clear back in October, we asked if we could be heard. The state's made some changes. You know what our answer was? Nothing initially. The state's made some changes. No, they have not. We had to prove it. We had to go and do all kinds of legwork. My wife, I should say that. My wife did legwork. She sent you a letter with superscripts and subscripts and people's phone numbers to the state. And you guys had that in front of you, more than you had from the insurance committee. A state law that matched a federal law. No, you didn't. So we had to go back and do additional work. And we did that additional work. And you guys got a letter with that. Well, they may have changed the law, but they've left it up to the school district whether to do it or not, and we elect not to. How do we get that changed? You have to go to the board. You have to go to the board. We would like to get to the board. Well, you can't go to the board because we don't see that as being a worthy item. You guys currently have that letter in each of your inboxes. Some of you I want to feel sorry for, but I mostly don't, because you had that letter in your inboxes, and I was expecting somebody to say, damn it, I want to get this on the board. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And so we still, the only way to get this changed is to appear before you guys, but we're denied that opportunity. Not once, but twice. We have the letters to show it. We're not even letting you have an audience with the board, even though there's a state law, and even though there's a federal law, even though it's a civil right for a protected group of people. Even though it's a civil right, you guys, none of you had the inkling to say, maybe we ought to talk about this. And finally, we only get attention because we go on you guys would call it a public shaming, but just bringing the population of just Billings, we thought, to say, look what is happening to us. Look at us as parents, 2,200 parents, it sounds like. There's some experts out here. Why can't you ask these guys questions? Wouldn't that be nice? We're looking at this math curriculum, and you prayed out a bunch of math teachers, and I have no doubt. I've got 2 master's degrees around the fields of math. But you guys are missing the point. What they're talking about is not how good the math curriculum is. It's suggesting, it's putting in social aspects into it. A question ought to be, if you guys could ask questions, a question ought to be, how many math teachers are trained to talk about the social issues that are introduced into it? How about on the Pennington side? Ask a question to the special ed department. Here's a good math question to the math teachers. Do you know what bias math is? You introduce facts into it so you get a pre-programmed answer. We saw bias math at that first meeting from our special ed department. Perhaps they would benefit from some of these math teachers talking about it. And so we get these directed answers because you keep coming back to your experts with the predetermined. Ask some questions of some other experts. Find out what's going on. Talk to a child psychologist and a social psychologist. Beyond the math, is this affecting our kids if we keep hitting with the same things over and over and over again? But you guys don't ask those questions. You sit in this beautiful little bubble where you don't have to answer to anything until, you know what Olive Billings just learned? You know how to deal with the school board? Scorched earth. You deal with the school board with scorched earth because otherwise they will not respond to you. They won't give you the time of day. And they will quickly usher through insurance, all kinds of things. And if it doesn't meet the budget, where are you going to go? You can finish the sentence for me again. The COVID slush fund that you have. But if somebody comes forward with a special needs student, you're going to make up some bias math that gives the answer that you want so you're defensible in your position that you're taking. And we don't get anywhere.
That's your 6 minutes, sir.
We don't get anywhere. I would look into your hearts a little bit and say, what is your purpose behind the desk there? What is your mission behind the desk there? You've got this big slush fund of money. You're willing to dole out in all kinds of administrative ways, in ways where you had to make a decision tonight without good information. Did that feel good to any of you guys on the insurance committee? Without good information. You're willing to do that, but you're going to look for all the legal loopholes, and that's what that first meeting was about. Do you guys remember? You guys are threading the needle to say, how can we deny special needs students what they deserve and what is federally and by state law given to these kids? How can we thread the needle so we are not legally liable? Never once did the discussion come up with whether it's the right thing to do. Shame on all of you. Thank you for your time.